Members of this item.
It makes you decision.
That's the problem with this.
Oh, this is a killer. Oops. Just pay it.
Okay. It is 9:31 on June 20th, and we'll convene the RPRC meeting. First item for discussion is the June 6, 2023 minutes. I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Then we have our first regular business item, 75 Whipple Road East. Let's see, here we have. Hello, good morning. Jonathan, you're with us?
Good morning.
For a minute, I thought we weren't working. How
Can
are
hear
you?
me? Good morning.
Yep, we hear you. So you're up first, 75 Whipple Road East. Do you want to take us through the plans quickly? And if you have them, can you share them?
You sure can.
Fantastic.
Okay. Share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Adam, can you see my screen?
Yes, looks
Okay.
good.
Perfect. Okay, so this is 75 Whippoorwill Road East. It is an existing two-story single-family dwelling with a detached structure on a little bit over an acre of land. The house is perched up on top of a hill, every bit of 50 some odd feet above Whippoorwill Road. The approach to the house is up this driveway that faces and leads you to the front of the home. And it's in the back of the home, the rear of the home, is where this proposal takes place. Currently, the shape of the existing dwelling kind of creates this alcove, of which currently has an existing bluestone patio on grade. And it's in this area that we are looking to build a new single-story, four-seasons room that is 479 square feet. And the purpose of this room is to just give some breathing room to the home, another seating area, an area that has an abundance of light to allow urns with plants, because the homeowner loves landscaping and planting exotic plants, as well as to hold some of their collection of sculptures, of which we'll showcase shortly. So going into lot coverage, floor area, or gross floor area calculations, we're all well below that. But in terms of the addition, as I mentioned, it's going to be a single-story addition. The addition is roughly about 21'6" by 21'6". The idea is that leading off of the existing living room, we plan on putting a pair of bi-parting doors that leads down 2 steps or 14 inches onto the floor slab of the new Four Seasons room. On access to that sliding door will be a radius bump out that will have a water feature, and centered of this water feature will be one of the sculptures that the owners is purchasing. And then in addition to that, we are surrounding the 2 exterior walls with fenestration and glazing to allow the natural views and the natural air and light into the space, and vice versa. In addition to that, we are also going to have another series of biparting doors that leads us out to their backyard. Surrounding this entire addition would be a landscape buffer that will have a stone retaining wall to help retain some of the soil and create that transition back to natural grade. Here's the
Okay, yeah, we got it. It looks great. I
Oh.
really like,
How about the elevation?
yeah, just show us the elevation. Yeah. there you
Sure.
go.
So here are the elevations of it, single story. We have a colonnade around the exterior edges of this addition to take the structure outside of the exterior wall. So that gives us a lot more room for glazing. A flat roof line with some curvatures to the eave lines to just soften up those edges. The homeowner has a strong love for the Art Deco architectural style. So we're taking cues from that era and infusing it into this addition. And then lastly, we're adding this glass dome centered of the addition to, again, bring some natural light right in from above down into the space. We plan on using stucco or a product called micro cement, which has the texture of stucco on this radiused edge and on the eave line and on the soffit of the roof that overhangs the addition. And then everywhere else is going to be white windows, white cladded windows, and white trim in between the windows with a natural.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought that bump out was actually going to be glass. Okay.
Yeah, it's designed, and
Yeah.
here's kind of some sections through it. It's designed even from the inside and out as a solid wall so that the sculpture has a clean, unobstructed backdrop so that you can observe the sculpture then rather than the view.
Got it.
Okay. And here's just some colorings of
Beautiful.
just
Yeah.
to give it a little bit more perspective.
Yep, looks good. I have no real comments on your work, just some existing condition things that I saw out there. The existing terrace that's close to the property line, if you could go back to the site plan. Yeah, we need to know where that terminates. So there's a provision in the code where terraces and patios can't be more than 5 feet closer than 5 feet to the property line. So you'll just need to show where that is and show that it meets that setback, okay?
Stone retaining wall, maybe that layers off.
Oh, maybe, yeah,
Maybe it cuts off there.
yeah. So that's just one thing you have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm going to open up the original survey that we received that may shed some light to this. Okay, so there's a wall right there. He didn't add a dimension, but we can certainly get clarification.
That slide is gonna be okay if I were to guess, but yeah, you'll dimension that, see where we are. And then I didn't know what was happening above the garage. Is that, I wasn't sure if that was an apartment. If it is, that can be, they would need a special permit to legalize that, which is fine. But it just wasn't clear what's happening up there.
Okay, I have no knowledge of
Yep.
what is taking place up there because I didn't walk that detached structure, but we can certainly find out.
All right, so should we I'll make a motion to send this to the building department.
I'll second.
Sue, all in favor? Okay, so we'll post these comments later today, and then you can submit your application to the building department.
Wonderful. So no other boards or committees to present in front of?
No other boards or committees. Yeah, this looks great.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Take
thank you,
care.
members of the board. Have a great day.
That detached garage got planning board approval,
Yes, I know.
and I think it was the office.
Yes, I do,
Where the half back from,
probably.
so who knows what's up there. There now.
I don't know, yeah, I'm not sure. Have them.
Yeah, Dave Zacarni assumed this property. He led the
That,
builder.
I saw the pictures in the file, that was just, and there were maybe 50 letters from the building department. To the previous homeowner about what terrible condition the house was in. Yeah, really bad. All right, 15 Wampus Lakes is next. Don't believe we have anyone in the waiting room for this, so I'll pull this one up. Which is unfortunate because there's a whole bunch of zoning issues here. But let me pull it up.
This is the one with the pool that
Yeah, yeah,
drifts into the front yard.
yeah, and I'll just go over that with everybody, so. See it. Unfortunately, it's an oddly shaped piece of property, which. So what? We have the frontage is at the side of the property, which creates some unique zoning issues that they're gonna have to deal with. They're not unsolvable, but issue one. All of this existing driveway is proposed to be removed.
Oh, it's huge.
Yes, but by removing that portion, they've eliminated the access to the garage. So that I didn't understand.
What's gonna replace that truck?
There's another driveway coming.
Right there.
Yeah,
But that's supposedly existing, right?
both are existing.
Well, what confused us is
It's
the
like
label at the
800
bottom says proposed.
It's
If you zoom in at the bottom of the property on the bend of that existing driveway, it says
So they're
proposed
eliminating everything
5,800
up there. in front of the garage.
square foot.
Oh, yeah, it's not proposed. It's definitely there.
Yeah, so we just kind of noted that. as
Yeah.
well.
Maybe they use the
explain
garage
Yeah.
for something else.
Maybe, but you would think we wouldn't want to eliminate the access to it. Plus, there's this big gravel area up here, which they didn't count, which should be counted. So that's. You
Are
know,
they accessing from a different property to this?
no, this is, no,
Like that gravel area you said is not going up the property?
no, it's definitely not.
Okay.
going to the property. No, it's just like that's the garage access is off the back here, yeah. And then the pool, right, so since this is the front yard, Wampus Lakes. The pool complex, so the filter, the pool and the patio can't really extend beyond this line. So they've got to squeeze it behind, this right here.
Mhm.
It is a large pool, so they can do it. I forgot. Oh, it doesn't have.
Where's the septic?
Well, that's something we asked for.
Yeah.
We asked for well and septic location.
I'm guessing it's here, but,
And then the well has to
Don't
be
know.
east.
Something's probably in the way to move that pool.
So maybe what we do with this one, yeah, see, it's 50 feet, so it's a big, pretty big pool. Yeah, it's a big pool. So they can shrink that, they hike it. But I think there's enough questions, maybe they come back to us, right? And kind of go through this with us.
Yeah, I mean, we're guessing,
Yeah,
and that's not.
so we'll post the comments. We'll say, come back to us. I don't really think we need to go to the planning board on this, but, right? Have them come back and we'll deal with it.
Well, if they persist on the pools.
Right. Yeah. All right, so address. Comments. And return. I think we'll be able to take care of it. Anything else you wanna?
No, there's no thing, show well septic, and, cut and fill and that label.
All right, yes, we'll have them deal with that and we'll take another look at it. Think everyone okay with that? I don't think you guys, we're not gonna vote here. All right, next is 10 Windmill Place, which we've seen before. They've scaled back the project, so join us. Michael, is that you with us today?
Yes, hi. Hold on,
Hello.
running my video.
Well,
Hi,
welcome back.
Thank you. Hi, how are you guys? I got Jody
Good.
here.
Oh, okay, hi.
Nice to
Thank
see
you.
Hi, everybody.
So
Thank
I
you.
just before you joined, I told the committee that you received approval for a bigger scope project previously. You've now taken it back a notch for a kitchen expansion and a landing area essentially at the side of the house. I have no major issues. Let me just pull up the plans for the committee. And we can go over any engineering
I
comments.
think we're, this might be a project that's located within the 100-foot wetland buffer, so you probably need a wetland permit.
All right, let's take a look at that. And then we can talk about how we do that.
I don't think it's within 100 feet.
Let's take a look. See what we can find out. Okay. So this, let me zoom out. All right, so here are the bump outs for the addition. And the existing screened in porch is being demoed and a new access meeting the setbacks is being proposed at the side of the house. Now, where do we think the wetland is, Tony?
Yeah.
I can't bring it.
It's on the side.
It's not on the side. All right. Okay. Well,
We're kind of at the top of a hill, which goes down in all 4 directions. So I don't know that there's going to be any wetland areas near us.
No.
yeah, let's take a look. See. I didn't think so either, but let's look at it now. So we,
Something.
yeah, let's see what.
Completely.
Oh, let's take a look. All right. So we're going to we're 10 Windmill Place, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I had the wrong one up.
Oh, you had the
Ignore
one.
me.
Ah. Wait,
I had
which one was
11.
that?
That was 11 cat.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I apologize. My fault.
No
All right.
worries at all. All good.
Okay, let's go back.
I had the wrong paper in front of me.
I was
I never
like,
glasses
all right, I don't remember seeing that
So I
either.
gotta wear my reading glasses.
All right, so let's pull up the elevations.
No, that was one of the reasons why we bought the property, because of the
Yeah.
no wetlands.
Right. We've been through wetlands on the previous project, so we know all about that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have, stopped it. All right, so this is proposed elevation, so this is what it will look like. It certainly is within the character of the house.
Yes.
No issues. You can see the side elevation here, the new access. So everyone okay with this? I am.
Yeah.
We had minus.
Yeah, what was?
It's just to show erosion controls. around the
Road,
work
okay,
area,
so
yeah.
easy.
If
So
it's proposed grading, show the proposed grading. It may not be
Yeah, there-
proposed grading, but yeah. And there's not enough impervious surface to be collect
Great.
stormwater.
So I'll make a motion to send this to the building department.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
you guys.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Okay.
good luck. We'll
So long.
we'll post, whatever comments we have today, on the RPRC website, and then you can take those comments, address them, and submit to the building department.
Okay.
How long should that take, Adam?
For you to do that? It
Just
shouldn't
to
take,
let-
No, for us to get the permit.
Mike,
Yeah,
what's your timing look like for permits? A few weeks, right?
oh, yeah, it has to get reviewed. It
Yeah.
could be 4 to 6 weeks.
Really?
Great.
You hear that?
So we're still looking at a month or so. Okay.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Okay, all right,
Have a
guys,
great day, you guys.
too. Hopefully faster is what Mike said.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Take care.
Good to see you guys.
See you.
All right, so now we're on the
Well,
web.
nice.
Yes, by the way, this one is.
Now you realize.
Okay, so no one's here for this, so let me pull up this application. We can go over it. This is a unique situation. Did you go look at this, by the way? You go out there?
I did.
All right, I did. It was hard to find, because it's a big,
Now we're on Caltrans.
yeah, we're on Caltrans. So what the applicant is looking to, they own 2 lots in Conyers.
This
So-
is 20 acres.
Yeah, at a minimum.
20 acres.
Yeah, might even be more than that.
Could be.
So this lot is a vacant lot. The house right here, you can see a piece of it, has a very steep decline to the lake. They have a path and a dock on their property, but they have trouble getting their boats in and out because of the existing topography. What they're looking to do is on the vacant lot, construct an access down to the lake to get the boats in and out. Here's the dock. So
Seems reasonable.
it's very reasonable. Originally, they came in with a paved driveway at our pre-app meeting, but since there's no primary, principal use, I didn't see how we could kind of improve that. So what they agreed to do, because it's only gonna be used a couple times a year, is not to improve the actual path. They're just gonna regrade. So I know one of your questions was, what is the material on? Essentially, it's nothing.
Okay.
You know, it's just gonna be a level area to get a truck in and out when it's dry.
Dirt.
Dirt,
Yeah.
yeah.
How wide is it?
Let's see, how wide? Good question. 12
Nice.
feet wide.
I'm just concerned about erosion as well.
Well, so then if you think we need to do
A
something,
lot of,
If you're driving over and over and over, you know, you're not gonna get grass there.
Well,
When you have a storm, it's
If they're
gonna,
just, doing seasonal, if you own a boat, you put it in,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
leave it, and then
they
you
take
take it out. So it's twice a year, maybe, unless there's an issue.
right,
12 feet wide, I don't know how wide their boats are, but
They'll probably use that trail to get down to the boat to use it.
no, they already have,
Yeah, gotta go down a steep slope though. Hop
Yeah,
in a
but-
golf cart,
no,
take it down
okay,
there.
yes, but they definitely would not do that because the distance.
Oh, from
From-
that to the dock is far, right?
No. You've got the existing house, think of it up here.
Yeah,
The lake is down here. They've got a path and way down to the dock.
got it.
And to get to this path, they have to
yeah, they got it.
go down their driveway, walk a quarter of a mile.
No,
Like, they're- it
Yeah, they
doesn't
wouldn't
make
use it
sense.
for that.
No, this is clearly for
It's like an access.
access road to get.
I'm sure there's nice steps going down
And,
there.
and
Yeah.
on the lake, there's no, community ramp.
No,
No,
no.
no, definitely
Here,
not.
I'll zoom in so you can see the area. we're talking.
Yeah,
So
we don't
here,
share.
here's the house,
I got it.
Sharon Greenwich.
and then here, so their pool's here, and then I guess there's this path or something down here. We're talking about the path, snaking
I'll be taking down
trees.
trees.
That was one of my questions. I don't, 3 trees. Go, I do have the answer. 3 trees.
That's
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, they're weaving this path.
Oh, they're weaving it through.
I'm sure they want to keep it with.
Seems hard to believe.
Some of the vegetation that they'll need to remove are not
Probably
trees.
Smaller trees too, remember,
This is a dense canopy, so there's a lot of
little things.
little
Right.
stuff that doesn't trigger.
Hit the meter.
It doesn't hit the meter. Yeah.
And the wetlands issue.
Well, because of the minimal improvement, I'm not that concerned. I would say do an administrative wetlands permit. How do you all feel about this?
As long as they're not putting anything.
Well, are you okay with
gravel
that?
or Anything down.
I mean, we can tell them.
I'd almost want to speak to John just about it, just to say.
All right,
About
so
dirt
Do
path.
do you have a comment about that?
Yeah, we do.
Fine,
So
so-
just show, specify what material you're using.
Uh-huh, okay.
Erosion issue.
Yeah, that's a legitimate.
Wow,
yeah.
concern.
Because sometimes when you do these paths, eventually the tire
Well, I
marks.
I do a lot of
It gets
hiking,
into,
and you see
water
roots
course.
popping out, rocks after a while, all the
Yeah.
soil washes away, if it's on a hill.
But if you're,
It is.
but
Yeah.
I totally agree, but if you're using it so sparsely, it's not like you're gonna have the truck runs,
Yeah,
early on, but you're.
Yeah,
It's worth the
and
question.
then somebody's gonna have to maintain it as well. Trees are gonna fall, they're gonna go back there, they're gonna be cutting them, you know, if dead trees fall across it, so it's gonna be a maintained path. I can have further comments, John, just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is everyone okay if it ends up being some sort of
Administrative.
treatment, even if it's? on the
Yeah, even if you have
portion?
to, yeah.
Everyone's okay with that?
Sure.
All
I
right,
am, I-
then I'll make a motion to send to building. And
Second,
Larry, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Send to building with an administrative well,
Yeah, we're.
correct? Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes, so this we'll discuss in a second. Let me just get my paperwork in order here. Back, oh, good, good. 19 far away.
Get your vernal pool this year?
What?
Did your vernal pool come in?
that's consistency.
Really?
We had a giant rain.
Okay, good
In
morning,
spring.
19 far away
Filled a couple of
is next up.
weeks. Ducks.
How are you guys?
Vernal pool.
Thanks for taking the
Okay.
time.
Yes, of course. So let's pull up your plan. 19 far away. What we have is an application for a fence. It's unusual in that we have some comments from a neighbor. Typically don't see that. But let's pull up the plan so we can see. So we're just talking about a standard PVC vinyl fence. The applicant is proposing, here's the house, this is the street. So one piece enclosing the front yard along the side yard to the existing lake. And then up the side yard, but not coming back to the house at this point. I met the applicant out in the field. The neighbor by this number 2 submitted comments to the RPRC. I don't know if you all saw them or not. Her major concerns were that if this fence were installed, it potentially, she was concerned, would act as a dam for water. So we could talk about that with Tony. And then the comment number 2 is that this fence potentially could prevent wildlife from traversing the area.
Every fence does.
Every fence does, plus this is open regardless at this point.
Mhm.
And the third comment was that the neighbor has an existing swing set that in line, and that if the swing were,
Swinging.
used swinging, it would cross over the property line and potentially then hit the fence. So a couple of those issues I responded to the neighbor, and not the wildlife or the flooding, because that's more of an engineering issue, but with respect to the swinging, and I explained that the fence is permitted on the property line and that there's no inherent right to be able to swing into the adjacent property. And that if that does become an issue, the solutions to move the swing set a bit, so it doesn't hit the fence. Tony, do you want to talk about the neighbors' concerns with the potential for flooding? I did bring this up with the neighbor, with the property owner when I was out there. And he said when there are flooding events, it's coming from the lake itself in, right? So it's the lake that's rising and coming in, not
street water. Or-
not water coming down. Down. That seemed to make sense, and I can understand that. So what do you think?
The elevation support.
I don't know. I'd like to, see what Tony, look, these are issues that I think we need to discussed, they were raised, and, you know, we should talk about it.
Yeah, no, we
Do
definitely.
we have a picture of this fence?
Of the proposed fence?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The shiny white
Yeah.
vinyl fence.
Sometimes these fences
favorite?
also have a tendency to.
The amazing
concentrate
thing,
close,
A
where
few
everything's
years
spread
in, they
evenly, it
get
would
all
hold it to one
moldy.
spot,
Yeah,
run down
well,
with the hand.
And then they look terrible.
let's talk.
They get little black dots on them, like
Wait.
old.
Yeah, we had a couple of conversations going on at the same
Right.
time. So, all right, what was that? What were you saying? So,
No, these fences get moldy.
yes, they
With
definitely
time.
get there. Not even with time, you know,
Yeah, 2 weeks.
yeah.
I certainly, if I was the neighbor, I'd prefer a green barrier. But if they want a fence, they're certainly entitled to the fence.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
The white stands out.
All right, how do you want, what about the potential damming effects of this?
Yeah, so
What do you
that's the
think
big
about
thing,
that?
it concentrates flow, so as it builds up now, it's getting concentrated along the fence line, and also definitely the mammals. We commented on that as well, thanks for, mammals, amphibians to.
Well,
move
they raise
freely
it for
through.
us.
Yeah, I know you potentially want to use this fence for a pet in the future, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, 4 inches off the ground. You know, how that impacts that. Plus the fact that it's not enclosing the area and it's not an unusual circumstance. You know, we have fences that are flush mounted to the ground all over.
Nothing stands out here being different. than any
Yeah.
other. How do you treat it that way?
Well, if we know that there's a water issue,
Well, yeah,
well, I want to
it's
just
a
do
story.
one issue at a time, so.
Yeah.
The animal access issue. Is not an
It
issue.
doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I
Around
don't,
it.
if it's open on the other side, and
for now,
Front of the
in the
house.
future, it might not be, but I guess my point is, it's no different than any other.
What if you have a pool? I mean, I have a pool fence
Right.
that encloses my property.
That's right, right.
Right now, sometimes animals get through, sometimes they don't, but it's basically there to protect people from drownings.
Okay.
So so there are situations, I think, all over town.
Mhm.
Properties are enclosed and it does impair animal travel.
Okay, I agree with that. So then the last issue that we have yet to resolve is the water issue potentially. If you think that is a potential issue, how do we resolve?
Can I interject here? Are you guys able to hear me?
Well, yes, but just hold on one second. I want to hear from Tony.
Yeah, I mean, if you, by lifting it a little bit off the ground, I mean, maybe not so high as 6 inches, but leaving a little bit of a gap. And then eventually they'll probably erode up to it anyway. And, vegetation, but not sinking it in the ground, keeping it a little bit above.
Well, if you kept it a little bit above and eventually you had a pet, you could always do some type of screen
Yeah,
along the bottom.
you need to do a lower screen.
Okay, all right, go ahead now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. So first off, thank you very much for all your time and thanks for sharing your opinions. And I think I just wanted to provide a little perspective from where we're coming from and why, we need this fence and to address some of the objections that were raised. Adam is correct to note that in the not too distant future, our plan would be to hopefully get another dog. We just had one, a small puggle that unfortunately passed last year, about a 20-pound dog. Seemed to have gotten through any nook and cranny that existed, including under little kids' beds. So that's the best comparison I can draw to getting under the fence. So in an ideal world, there would not be a gap. Tony, to address your comments about a flooding or damming issue, I think it's important to note that the instance that our neighbor is speaking about is a hurricane that occurred a few years ago. And yes, there was water that rose to our grass level. But it was not flowing down like a tsunami. So I have some images. I have a PowerPoint to share with you guys to kind of illustrate what we see. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share screens.
Great.
So I think it's important to first, let me see. All right, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, thank you. It looks good.
So the origin of the water, this is what I first want to draw to your attention, is coming through this small stream here. So at no point in time should there be this huge wave of water coming through that's like knocking down, people's homes. This was an event where water level had come up and elevated the level of our water and then seeped onto the property. This is not a wave that came forward. This is something different. So I do not think that a fence is going to dam any water or create the issue in which we're concerned with. So as the water came up on the property, it receded the same way as it came on. So it was not huge waves sloshing back and forth. It is just water level rising and then receding. And it's also important to note that this is a hurricane-like event. I think we're on a 100-year flood plan. So hopefully we don't see another one of these things for 98 years. So I'm happy to speak to some of the other issues raised, but I'll pause there for any questions or comments.
I think we've got a good understanding of what's being proposed. How do you guys, what do you want to do?
They're in their rights to put this in.
Okay. So approve it as proposed well, we'll make that motion, see what happens. Do you have any significant concerns if that happens?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so did Sue make that? You did make that motion, right?
I will.
Oh, will you? Okay, so you're gonna send this to the building department.
Mhm.
Anyone want to second this?
I'll second.
Mike Cromwell, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the plans, it was approved. You're gonna need a wetlands permit. Oh, we should have discussed that. So that would be an administrative wetlands permit would be my recommendation. So you know what, let's vote again. So it would be sent to the building department with administrative wetlands permit. Sue, you'll make
I'll
that motion?
propose that.
Okay,
I'll
Mike,
second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
So next step, we'll put together the determination from this committee. You will then submit your application for the fence and the administrative wetlands permit to the building department.
Great. Well, we appreciate all your time and consideration.
Okay, take care.
Take care, guys.
Last one now.
So. Yes, this has been an ongoing issue. And the building department resolved in the most expedient way. It is C&D fill on this property that was brought on there. At this point, it's been on the site for at least several months.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a neighborhood eyesore. At this point, the applicant, the property owner just said, you know what, we're gonna remove all that material. There were 8 trees that were removed when that fill came in. So my recommendation would be approve the removal of the fill. Plant a few specimen trees on the disturbed area and revegetate the slope. And I think it will look,
What is
Much
the
better.
bill? Why'd they bring that in?
you know, that.
They wanted to
I
put
think-
yard, a big depression in the front.
Yeah. I think
But
so.
they never
And
used the
The
bill.
bill that they brought was not good.
It was very bad, Phil. Yeah, we went out there.
Right, it's got pieces of everything
It's
in
got
there.
bricks and
Oh,
it's
geez.
not, they
Looks like
can't,
they came up
can't
with
really
video.
grow anything on it. Yeah.
And is there any contamination in the film? I mean,
That's
we've
a
had
big
this,
I
we've
don't
had this
know.
issue in the planning
I-
board now and
It's
two
not,
sites where this,
I don't know the answer to that, but they're removing it. It's not staying.
and when they remove it, it'll be down to virgin soil.
Correct,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes, it all gone. So this also might, there's a stream downhill from this.
Mhm.
And some of the fill might touch that 100-foot buffer. So again, I think this should be an administrative wetlands permit. If there is any piece that's in there, they can deal with the mitigation plan. It is relatively minor and physically separated from that wetland.
It is.
Yeah.
Something like a bowl.
Yeah.
And administratively, who oversees the removal?
It will be the town engineer. Yeah, and the building department.
And the building. Okay, good.
Is everyone okay with that? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I'll make that. So the motion to send to building
I'll second.
and, but no, and administrative. Wetlands permit.
You were out there recently,
Yeah, I was there a couple.
with the
days ago.
blue tarps there on the
I
driveway?
I didn't notice them. Remember we talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Didn't
just
notice.
address that separate.
But let's vote on this. So I made that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and then that's
That's
the
it.
meeting. Yeah, so the meeting is adjourned at 10:11.
Not bad. Not bad.